Look at that. Look at that. Hey guys, welcome back to Heomeo's Kitchen. I know we haven't been cooking lately, we've been super busy, but welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna make some Bánh Bột Chiên. I know you guys seen me eat a lot of this stuff on my channel, but today we're gonna make it from scratch. Bánh Bột Chiên is just a rice flour cake with a little bit of a crunch to it. This is something that's super easy to make and affordable that anybody can experiment at home. Now let's go through some of the ingredients. The first thing you're gonna need is this bag here of rice flour mix. All it is just rice flour, wheat flour, and cornstarch. So usually I buy this bag right here. In the back here, there's Vietnamese, looks like it's Chinese, and French, but I don't know how to read any of that. I know how to read English, so I don't know what happened here. But today we're gonna make it in English, so maybe with this video it can help you guys out a little bit, and hopefully I get it right. But yeah. So let's go through some of the ingredients. First we have some shredded papaya. This is just a garnish or a topping on top for later with sauce. I got some eggs, some green onions, some Chinese sausage. Today we're gonna use some lạp xưởng, mai huay lo. I had some of this stuff that I picked up a little while back from THện T, but this is actually really good. It tastes like it's homemade. But we ran out, so if you guys get a chance to pick this up, I recommend this. This tastes pretty good. But today we're gonna try something different here. And of course, you have some red vinegar, some dark soy sauce. You guys will see later on what we're gonna do with this, and some regular soy sauce for the mix. And of course, last but not least, we have some preserved radish. This is kind of just like some of my exes. It comes super salty. But we're gonna wash it, soak it in water for a little bit here, and rinse it a couple times to get rid of the salt, and it should taste fine after. So I got a regular sized pot here. I'm gonna dump this whole bag in. Just this whole bag of flour here. And then we're gonna add 2 cups of water and mix it up well. So we're gonna stir this and cook it on medium to low heat until you get a nice texture and it becomes really heavy. So while that's going, I'm gonna grease my bowl here that we're gonna steam it with. So just a little bit of oil, and then you want to get oil on all the sides here. So you can use a bounty piece paper and just, so this is so that it doesn't stick onto the bowl later on till you get it out and start cutting it and cooking it. So you want to grease your bowl like that and just wait. So after about 7 to 8 minutes, this gets a little bit heavier and it's almost ready. So right before you want to dump it into your steaming bowl, you want to put in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. And then give it a nice mix. So after you dump the oil in, you want to mix it and let it run for another 5 minutes so they get thicker. So in total we cooked this for about 12 minutes. I would call this like a muddy texture. It's pretty heavy. Now we're gonna dump it into this bowl here. So now we're gonna steam the cake. If you don't have a steamer at home, you could do it this way. All it is you have a big pot, some water, and then I put a bowl upside down for a base, as you guys can see here, and then I put this on top. I would steam it for 20 minutes so that's completely cooked. So after we have steamed this for about 20 minutes, you want to let it sit out. It's best to leave this in the fridge overnight, or you can start cutting it after an hour. Alright, so we've waited over an hour for this to cool. It's been sitting in the fridge. So we've never done this before, but now we're gonna cut into a brick. What do you want is about a little bit more than ½ an inch thickness. Like this. I would call this about 5/8 or something, maybe. So most restaurants will probably give you pieces about this big, just so because it's easier to cook and easier to flip for them to save time. But most pieces I would like around here, a little bit smaller, bite-sized pieces. This is actually a little bit too big. You probably want about like this right here. And we're just gonna keep cutting this about into bite-sized pieces right here. So you want about, I would call this about 5/8 wide, about a centimeter thick. And I would go like this. Alright, so we're gonna save this for later. We're just gonna make enough for one portion today. I got this huge bowl here because we're gonna marinate it. This is gonna give it some color. So really for this much you only need a splash of dark soy sauce, just enough to cover it. And so you want to just lightly cover it with soy sauce. It's not gonna be too salty if you use dark soy sauce. Don't use the regular one. This is just for color and texture. It's gonna give it a little bit of a nice crisp and crunch. I think I need just a little bit more. And we're just gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes while we do the other preps. So you wanna cover each piece like this. So now I'm gonna make the dipping sauce for the Bánh Bột Chiên. I have 1 part sugar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 parts of soy sauce, so 2 tablespoons here. You could always double up the proportions if you want to make more, but I find that this is enough for 1 or 2 proportions of Bánh Bột Chiên. So I have 2 parts soy sauce, and of course 1 part red vinegar. Now you could always double this up or have more red vinegar if you like it more sour. And of course 2 parts water. You want to give this a nice mix. Make sure all the sugars dissolved. So now comes the easy part. We're just gonna chop up some of the toppings for this Bánh Bột Chiên. I have some green onions here. You can cut this so many ways, but this is so simple. Just cut it nice and small. I like a lot of green onions with this dish. If you don't like green onions, you don't have to put it in there, but this dish requires, in my opinion, requires a lot of green onions to make it taste good. Now, sausage. This is Chinese sausage. You can cut this many ways too. You could cut it sideways, cut it like that. For this, I like it in half like this. And then like this. I find that this is some nice sized bits, nice bite-sized pieces. Works good for me. Just like that. That's it. Traditionally, you're not gonna find Chinese sausage in Bánh Bột Chiên in Vietnam, but I like to add this because it gives it a little bit of an extra crisp. And trust me, everything's a little bit better with a little sausage in your life. So now I'm gonna fry this on medium heat, about 5 minutes aside. So it's been about almost 5 minutes on medium heat, guys. Now I'm gonna flip it. Now I'm gonna flip all my Bánh Bột Chiên. You guys see here, the dark soy sauce gives it this nice color here and a little bit of a crunch. Alright, so once I flip it, this is the time when I add the preserved radish. I want to suck out all the moisture, and for the next 5 minutes it's gonna crispen up. You can put it on the side, you can put it in the middle, whatever you like. So it's been about almost 5 minutes on the other side, guys. This is when I'm gonna put in my green onions and crack my eggs. Right when you crack your eggs, you wanna give it a stir, and this is what's gonna bond the whole dish together. I'm gonna use about 2 eggs for this here, and it's all gonna bond together using the eggs. Now you want to give it a flip. You have some uncooked egg parts. Give it a nice flip. And this is what your traditional plate of Bánh Bột Chiên looks like. But, you know we're extra like that, so we're gonna add a little bit more stuff. this is just something I've added on over the years. Give it a little bit extra crisp and a little bit of meat in the dish. I love green onions, so I put more green onions on top. You don't have to, it's up to you. And you need a little bit of everything. First off, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the channel and watching another episode of Hell's Kitchen. I want to thank LD for requesting this dish on my Instagram. We go way back. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't done so already. But I'm gonna go eat now. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye.